sometimes as fans, you try to couch certain, and some, not everybody does, but sometimes it's almost like couch it because you don't want there to be like, well, if they fail, you don't want to do that. That. Look, they got 3 picks in the top 40. They better nail 2 of them.
Yep.
Period.
You can't win a Super Bowl if your quarterback is terrible. It happens.
Yeah.
It's extraordinarily rare.
We won 2 Super Bowls without Tyreek Hill. Yeah, it'll be a lot easier having Tyreek Hill on the goddamn offense.
2 things can be true at the same time. The Chiefs are a really good team. The Raiders are an absolute disaster.
It's that football show here on KC Sports Network. Tucker Franklin hanging out with Matt Verderame for your Friday edition of that football show. Thank you to our partners, Ben Holiday Bottled and Bond Bourbon. We are less than 2 weeks away from the NFL draft, where we will be out there slamming some Ben Holiday Bottled and Bond Bourbons and whatever else may go down at Holiday Distillery. I'll be out there. Matt will not be, but you can check us out. We got all the information out there on KC Sports Network social channels. Go check that out. Matt, road game for you. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm out here in Connecticut, and I got to tell you, if I don't ever have to rip up flooring for the rest of my life, I'm on board. I'm on board because, oh my God, it's a lot of flooring. But I'm doing good. I'm still, I'm doing better than David Bailey because there's been a lot of smoke that he's going to go to the Jets. And the man might need to go into retirement.
Yeah, there's been a lot of David Bailey to overall to the Jets smoke. We're really in smoke season right now when it comes. We get this close. Yes. Yeah, I mean, just look at Peter Schrager's smoke, and then you'll know that we are in all kinds of smoke season with all that going out there. But
I actually appreciated Solak's mock, which had 2 corners to the Chiefs.
Yeah, and I also appreciate he said muting this because he went ahead and got ahead of it and said, I'm putting out a horrible piece of content. So I don't want to know what you guys think of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and mute it. I really appreciated him owning up to that from the jump. I
saw it come across right after he tweeted it. And I was like, okay, it's one of those things. It's the time of year. You're like, all right, let's just, let's see. All right, let's see who's got what going on. So they took the lane at 9, and I'm fine with the lane. So I'm like,
sure,
okay.
Yeah.
And then I saw 29, he took Avian Terrell, and I was like, wait, what? And I looked at 9 again.
Yeah.
And I looked at 29 again.
Yeah.
And then I quote tweeted it. Yeah. And I was like, well, double barrel action for the Chiefs. Do you know what the reaction would be? The Chiefs actually did that. Like, hey, we're just 9 deep in corner now. Here we go.
It would be certainly a choice, and maybe benefit of the doubt to Ben here. Maybe he was like, I know that the Chiefs love to aggressively overcorrect when they have a deficiency. So yeah, Ben doesn't need my spin zone. I really don't wish I wasn't offering it up, but he was just like, I know that Brett Veach loves to overcorrect. Here's an overcorrection for you. And he said, there's 2 more for you. So
did anyone send this mock? Did anyone send it to Ryan Leaf?
No, I'm on it though.
Barreling toward wherever Solak lives.
It'd be funny if this is the first interaction I have with Ryan Leaf, and he's just like, sucks, This is
it's garbage. Yeah. No, I saw it and I was like, all right, what? And I just don't have the energy anymore. Okay, sure. Yeah, they're going to take 2 corners in the first round, man.
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
2 first-round corners is actually very funny because if they took 2 corners in this draft, I wouldn't be surprised. But 2 in the first round.
Yeah. I mean, the only position that they could take 2 guys in the first round, and I'd be like, that is defensive line.
Correct.
That's it. If they took an interior D lineman, if they took Bain at 9 and Cade McDonald at 29.
Yeah.
Something like that. Peter Woods, whatever. I pick a guy. I could see that because you could say, well, my God, they are so friggin' bereft of talent up there outside of Jones and Karlaftis. Fair enough. But the other thing too is, and I'm not gonna bring it up because I just don't care enough. But whoever saw I had them passing on.
Yeah.
it's not just so. We're just talking about his mock, but like it's like when I see people like Spencer Fano, right? Which what Cowherd was just all about today. Like on Thursday, he was like, "Oh, it's a brilliant pick," but I'm like,
yeah, it's
the
weird.
guy's probably a guard in the NFL. Like, where the hell are they got to play this guy? Like, what? Like, sometimes common sense needs to just rule. Listen, I learned my lesson a year ago with this team. Like, who knows? God only knows what they're going to do. To me, sitting here thinking they're taking 2 corners in the first round, or they're gonna take a tackle who's probably a guard. Like now we're getting to the point of Fano where when people list him, he's a tackle / guard.
Yeah.
I got news shit. When people start doing that, you're a fucking guard. Okay. Like, where are they gonna play him? He's gonna play a left bench. That was you playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do with him? So
you can't use a draft pick that high and not play him. Like that was our whole reasoning last year with Josh Simmons. Little did we know that he's a superhuman and I think the greatest football player ever, besides Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. Right. He's already got a gold jacket. I'm pretty sure Josh Simmons does. But that was our whole thing about the thought process with Josh Simmons is that like you don't really want to use a first round pick for that guy to redshirt. And if you do that on the offensive line, right? You talk about Fano when you're listening to him at guard. He's not playing guard this year. I mean, that's a simple fact. He's not going to play guard this year. They got Trey Smith and really Kingsley Suamataia. He got 2 years left? Kingsley does on his his rookie contract. So that would be just in like a little bit too rich when it comes to picking at number 9. We'll see what happens if they choose to trade up or anything like that. If there's a guy they really love and they can get up there, because an interesting spot that I would be looking at is at 6 with the Browns, because the Saints and the Commanders always like they seem to have similar needs to the Chiefs, and like always when I'm running these mock draft simulations or looking at mock drafts, though the guys I want always go to 2 of them go there. It's just like, well, all right. So if they could get up, if there's a guy they like, I guess for me it'd probably be like Ruben Bain, right? If he's on the board and you're like, you don't think he's going to get past Washington, you don't think he's going to get past New Orleans, maybe you call and Cleveland and see like, hey, do you guys want more picks? You guys need more picks, really.
I think if you're the Chiefs, there's probably a real advantage we have not even discussed. Like the idea of dealing with Cleveland. You're a smarter organization than Cleveland.
Yeah.
Because you're every other organization other than the Jets and potentially the Cardinals. Like, look, if you're the Chiefs, now, do I think they're going to trade up in this draft? I don't.
Sure. There's going to be that guy.
I mean, not a 9. I don't think they will do that. However, if there is a team I would trade up with, it is Cleveland.
Yeah.
That is the classic, like, yeah, sure, I'll take straight up Cleveland. It's kind of like as a Knicks fan when Isaiah Thomas ran the Knicks. I imagine it must have been like, Tim, you're too young for this, but like back in the day where you were trying to get tickets and you call Ticketmaster and the line was just constantly busy. And then it would finally, like literally like the 70th time, start ringing, and you're like, "Oh my god! All right, be ready." Like, and they'd be okay. Like, what do you want? Like, Knicks, Bulls, March 14th. Like, oh, the cheapest seat is $9,000. All right, thanks, bye.
Yeah.
But like that was like the way you bought tickets back then. I feel like that was the waiting period to get through on a phone call to Isaiah Thomas during like an NBA draft the next, right? Like that should be what it's like to get through to the Cleveland Browns at any given time. It should just be Veach. Like if the phone starts ringing and it's not doing a busy signal, Veach should just be absolutely. They should need to strap him down to the chair.
Right. Yeah.
Just can't contain his excitement. It's like, hey, so like. What about you give us 6 and we give you 74? Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds fair.
Even swap.
And like, well, what if you throw in 40? but we keep 9 and 29. Okay.
Right.
Still sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
The Browns were on the phone. Oh, we got him. We got him. We got 40.
Right.
Like, I really feel like there's a famous little sidebar. Are you familiar with who George Allen is or was?
Let me Google George Allen real quick.
Okay, so as you do that, he was a very, 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 very good head coach for the Rams and the Redskins in the 60s and 70s. Okay?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And there's something else about George Allen that is notable, and that is he, by the way, is in the Hall of Fame. He's a great coach. One of the few Hall of Fame coaches didn't win a Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
He hated young players. Hated them. Like with the passion of 1,000 suns. And so in the 70s, it was not uncommon for the Redskins to literally just not have like a pick in the first 5 rounds. It just happened repeatedly.
Yeah.
But there was one year where George Allen hated draft picks so much, he actually traded one twice. Okay. And so it was 1974. Okay. And so they had traded the pick once, and they traded so many picks that they forgot about it, and they did it again. So it was a huge kerfuffle that the NFL had to just figure out, like, who gets what pick, what the hell is going on. Hey, that might be what happens with the Browns just without the Hall of Fame coach. Like,
sure, yeah.
All the Browns out and just see what you can do here. And maybe you walk away from this and you like, maybe you do like the draft day trade, but like to the Browns. It's like Freaky Friday, role reversal.
Yeah.
So, listen, who knows? But if I'm the Chiefs and I'm going to trade up, it's with Cleveland.
I was just looking at his Allen's Wikipedia page. There's a whole section about him preferring veteran players over younger players.
Yeah.
He made 131 trades as an NFL coach. 81 of them came during his 7 years with the Redskins.
Yep. George Allen was an amazing coach, and I say this is in terms of endearment, was certifiably insane.
Yeah.
He would walk around and label the trees at Redskin Park like oak, hickory, with a label maker. Like he was convinced the teams were spying on them at all times. So they had people that their only job was to walk around the boundary of the facility at Redskins Park while they were practicing and make sure like the Cowboys didn't have a spy.
Yeah, that sounds like a football coach.
He was a lunatic. Mm-hmm. He was a great coach, but he legitimately hated having young players. Like absolutely with a passion hated it to a point of hilarity. Like he would not play a young player, which is why in the 70s they were known as the Over the Hill Gang. He got there in 1971. In 1972, the first pick they made was in the 8th round. Rounds doesn't exist anymore. Right. And then, by the way, the following year, 1973, 5th round. 1974, 6th round. 1975, 5th round. 1976, 5th round. 1977, got in there early, 4th round. 1978, 6th round. 1979, 4th round. So in the 1970s, in the entirety of the 1970s, the Redskins never had a first-round pick and twice picked in the 2nd round, and that was in 70 and 71.
Wow.
And by the way, we're terrific the entire decade.
Oh, yeah.
And then won multiple Super Bowls in the 80s.
Hilarious.
Fuck them picks.
Yeah, he's like he's the real fuck them picks guy. Not Les Snead, not this Les Snead imposter.
No, Les Snead's man's game is weak.
I know.
Josh Allen has trading picks he didn't even have.
Right. You got to step it up.
Man hated his pick, so much just trade him 2 times.
You got to step it up. Hopefully, Brett Veach is. I kind of hope to see Brett Veach wheel and deal. Truthfully, and this isn't like a necessarily like a high profile draft where like it'd be a lot easier for us as Chiefs fans to know who like the top 9 we're going to be or top 8 we're really going to be. But there's so much fluctuation there, and you're just kind of hoping for a team to overthink somebody for someone to fall to 9. But if there was a guy there, I think a lot of us like Ruben Bain in the Chiefs community, or if it's even David Bailey too, if that's more your flavor. Those are probably the 2 guys that you would own. Are those the only 2 guys you'd think about trading up for, Matt? Or would you think about trading up for one of the receivers?
I am very much on the Ruben Bain train.
Yeah.
I think though, man. Okay, short answer to this. I would trade up for Carnell Tate.
Okay.
I don't know if I trade up for Ruben Bain.
Okay. Interesting.
The only reason I'm saying that is because I just wonder from the defensive side of the ball. Like if you stay at 9, okay, if you don't get Bain, obviously in this case, let's say you don't.
Sure.
Mansour Delane is there. You know, Sonny Styles there. Like,
could be.
There are a lot of Caleb Downs could be there. There's a lot of options. Where I feel like if I want to improve the offense, there's one guy I'm taking there. That is it.
Yeah.
And it's Cardinal Tate. It is not Spencer Fano, despite what Colin Cowherd says. Okay.
Ridiculous about how passionate he was about Spencer Fano. Spencer Fano did center drills at the combine, by the way. They said, hey, will you do some center for us? That's just a little bit of like how. And he's not doing that for fun, right? Like, there's no reason he's not doing that just because, oh, you guys need a center, I'll step in. No, that was probably requested for him to run some center stuff to see if an NFL team was like, hey, can he be a center if we need him to be? And they got to look at it. So, what's really interesting, this is actually going to be brought up on the draft show on Saturday with Mike Renner. Matty Lane and Mike Renner talk about offensive linemen. And Renner brought this up where he said that it's interesting that, I think it was Fano's arms were only like 1/8 of an inch shorter, or maybe Malago's arm. I can't remember who it was. I'll have to double check it. Or 1/8 of an inch shorter than Josh Simmons' arms were. And I think that we all got caught up in just like, oh, Josh Simmons is there at pick 32. You better go ahead and grab him, and not thinking about like traditionally the Chiefs like to have guys with like 35-inch arms that play tackle. He was just like a talent there. You're just like, oh, he's at 32. We can trade back from 31 to 32 to get him. Let's do that. And yeah, so that's interesting there on the offensive line front. I don't want them to do it. I really don't. Like that is like my that might be my least favorite scenario. I think is them drafting an offensive lineman at pick 9.
Listen, I just we're 2 weeks out now. I'll go on record. If they take a tackle, that is a fucking horrendous pick, and it's not about whether or not the guy's good. Like I understand the bottom line is the bottom line. If they draft Spencer Fano and he turns into a great player, hey, that's great. Like I don't think there's a Chiefs fan alive who'd be like, oh, it's terrible.
Right.
If they take a tackle, it is a terrible process. It is. Like, there's just the closer and closer we get to this draft, like for a little while there, I'm like, well, you know, look, you build on the lines, and if you build just this like fortress around Mahomes, I know that Rashee Rice, at least for now, is in the clear. You can't rely on that guy.
Yeah. Like,
what planet do you want if you're relying on that guy? Who, by the way, the city wants JSN money. Good luck with that, man.
Yeah, that was him and Worthy and Tyquan Thornton getting on a TikTok live was a choice.
When the Chiefs saw that they were on a TikTok live, what was the blood pressure in that building? About 500 over 700?
Yeah, not healthy. And did you hear my favorite quote was when they said that they're going to have a lot of free time this year because they've got a real wide receiver coach, and their meetings are going to be longer.
I got to tell you. It's a good point.
He made actually a great point there. Like I'm not even knocking him. That's great analysis on his end.
I can't believe they said that on a live. Yeah, I can actually. I can.
Yeah. Oh, who we're dealing with?
Yeah, I would. It was maybe an ill-advised comment, but like, all right.
Yeah.
Listen. The bottom line is, in all sincerity, you cannot rely on him. If you're going to take an offensive player at 9, if that's the way that you end up, it has to be a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wanted, in my personal opinion, I would want it to be Tate, but if they took Mekhi Lemon, okay. I wouldn't be upset with that. It's fine. I'd be a little bit peeved if they took Tyson.
I agree.
The injuries are just too much, man.
Mm-hmm.
29 all day long.
Yeah.
9.
And there's a shot that Tyson might be there too. I've seen some recent mocks that have Tyson there around there. So I mean,
I like the point. I've been saying this for 2 months. I think that there's a real chance he's there at 29.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And I'd take him at 29. I mean, not to take Tate at Lemon at 9, but like otherwise, yeah.
Imagine that though.
Solak was right, just right church, wrong pew, Ben. So. Look, I mean, it's just Veach was playing the long game.
He was.
Like Solak's actually had the right idea. We're just going to switch it around. No, look, I think if you're Kansas City, drafting a tackle, man, when you have such a clear need at the end,
yeah,
you have a clear need at corner, you have a clear need at receiver. And you're sitting there and you're like, yeah, what we need? Spencer Fana. I will go berserk if they do that. There's no defense. Even if he turns out to be a good player,
yeah,
that is an indefensible process.
Well, I looked it up. Spencer Fano, according to his pro day measurements, his arms are only an 1/8 of an inch shorter than Joshua Simmons. Here's the problem with that, though. He's not as good as Joshua Simmons.
Right. No one thinks he's as good. Josh Simmons was available at 32 for 2 very distinct reasons. One, and the biggest one, was his patella tendon.
Yeah.
And the other one was major concerns about his maturity. Mm-hmm. That's why. That's it. There's no such injury with Spencer Fano, and to my knowledge, no such concerns. Like,
right.
If Spencer Fano was in last year's offensive tackle class, would be the 8th guy off the board.
Probably, yeah.
Like, why are you for what?
Mm-hmm.
What is the point? I don't know. I know they don't have anybody, they don't have more signed after this year. Fine, then deal with it next year.
Yeah, right. Get a tackle in next year's draft when you're picking 32, hopefully, also in the second round, third round, probably there's better tackles. Like, I feel better about some of the tackles. Like Blake Miller at 40, I'd be okay with, right? Like, especially if they address the defensive stuff in the first 2 picks, they go edge corner or they go edge wide receiver, whatever it is. If they go some combination of wide receiver edge in the top 2 picks that they have, 9 and 29, if they want to go Blake Miller at 40, oh, sure, I don't care at that point. I really just care about the first 2 picks and 9 and 29. And you kind of have to hit, this is a big offseason for you to hit those, for those to be solid contributors for this upcoming year and really for the years to come. This is, I don't want to be too dramatic, but this is maybe one of the most important offseasons that Brett Veach has had since he's been the general manager.
And I would argue it's the most important offseason at least since when they traded away Hill.
Yeah.
Not even close. Not even close. And look, too, let's also be real. They have more holes than they normally do.
They do.
Look, there's ebbs and flows to this stuff, but they do right now. And they're going to have to nail at least 2 of the first 3 picks. And if they don't do that, it's a failure. Look, I think sometimes as fans, you try to couch certain, and not everybody does, but sometimes it's almost like couch it because you don't want there to be if they fail, you don't want to do that. Fuck that. Look, they got 3 picks in the top 40. They better nail 2 of them.
Yep.
Period. If they don't do that, it is a failure. That's reality. And to sit there and be, the draft's a crapshoot. Fuck that. You need to find 2 guys out of 3 that are real players.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you need to do. And if you don't do that, this whole thing's a failure. Just like I feel like, look, Dallas is at 12-20. If you're the Cowboys, I mean, one of those guys better be a home run, and the second one better contribute. Like, you're not going to have 929 and 40 again in Mahomes' career.
Right. Yes. Right.
And if you do something what's drastically wrong, like, you need to nail this week. And you know what? These teams that don't, and I'm not like being funny or glib to pick on it. That's why the Bengals are the Bengals.
Yeah. Because
the Bengals the last 5 years has drafted absolute nonsense. Mm-hmm. That's why the Bills never have a pass rusher, because Rousseau's the best pass rusher they've drafted in a decade. It's not good enough. Like, you need to be able to draft, and the Chiefs have themselves in a position where they can do it. And they, like, the bottom line, I guess I'm driving at here is they cannot mess around with this and get cute and be like, well, you know what? Like, sure, we got 80% of a great offensive line, and the other 20% is fine. Mm-hmm. But, like, we could have 100% of a line and just never have a receiver to throw the ball to. Right. I mean, we just need Rice, Worthy, and Thornton to play 17 games, all of them, because that'll happen. Like, that's insane. That is insane logic. That's not going to happen. Okay, I will give everyone out there 100-1 odds that Worthy, Thornton, and Rice are not all playing 17 games. It's not going to happen.
Right.
So who the hell's stepping on the field right now? Jalen Royals? Who's doing it?
I forgot. I constantly forget that Jalen Royals is on the roster.
Bro, if they right now play the game, the only two receivers that they have behind those three main guys that I mentioned are Jalen Royals and Nico Remigio.
Yeah.
Those two guys didn't combine for 150 offensive snaps last year.
No, yeah.
And the Chiefs are just going to pretend like, oh, no, Spencer Fano is more important than a receiver. What, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it feels a little bit like, what was that, 2020? Was it 2021 or 2022? They're like, yeah, Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney are 1 and 2. Those are our options. It's like, that's kind of, it's not to that degree, right? I'm not saying that, like, Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy are Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney. I would never call somebody Sky Moore. It's a great disservice to them. But it is a little bit of just like, oh, yeah, no, it's fine. And they've done that for so long. Since they've traded away Tyreek Hill. They've been like, Pat will figure it out. And we saw last year, like, they had a pretty decent offensive line, but nobody could get fucking open. And Pat didn't figure it out because no one could get fucking open. And, like, there is a little bit of, like, chicken and egg, but also there's, like, a lot of, hey, yes, you need a good offensive line. Yes, you also need good wide receivers to catch the ball and get open. Pat made, like, 2 Super Bowls, back-to-back Super Bowls with scrubs at wide receiver somehow. But, like, you can't go into the later years of his career and be like, yeah, that's fine. He can do that every year.
Right. He also had the tight end version of God. Okay.
That's a great point as well.
Like, yeah, you can do that when Travis Kelce's out there just destroying Fred Warner on the most important play of the season. Like,
right. Yes. Doesn't have that anymore.
No, he doesn't have it anymore. And again, look, if Ruben Bain is there at 9, you to say, hey, look, Bain above all. That's cool. That's fine.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
But if you're not taking Bain, in my opinion, 9, then if you have a receiver there, you just take him.
Mm-hmm.
And like, look, I think Lemon is really good. I feel a little differently on him than I do Tate. That being said, I'll tell you right now, man, if they really like Mekhi Lemon, but they're like, well, we'd be more comfortable at like 14. Who gives a shit? Take him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing. That's one thing I have in the draft in general. People get way too precious about, like, well, the value is. Fuck that, man. Is the guy good?
Uh-huh.
Who cares? Stupid. You always get these nerds on Twitter who are like, well, I had him as the 27th player on my board, and they took him at 24. It's like, yeah, that's great. That's great. Thanks for chiming in, Ted. Can he play? Can he play football?
Turn the tape on. Yeah.
What I that is the most overvalued thing in the world. Well, the value of this guy, what's his value? Bro, can he play the sport well?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, then guess what? He's not overvalued.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, yes, certain guys, they fall, and maybe they fall for a reason, like Trey Smith did years ago. Maybe they fall just because, it's just the way that the board happens to go. But this idea, this nerd-driven idea, like, well, this guy, oh my God, they overdrafted him by 6 slots. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be a real big problem. The guy turns into a Hall of Fame. Everybody thought got overdrafted. Seriously, if you go back and look at the grades and the results, everybody thought got overdrafted. Patrick Mahomes.
That is very true. Yeah.
Yeah. Bring me the nerd now who said that in 2017, who's like, excuse me, I know he's had a first ballot Hall of Fame career and led a dynasty, but I had him at 21 in the draft. You're great. That's fucking great. Thanks. Thanks, Jeeves. Thanks for letting me know. Like, nobody cares. It doesn't matter. I'm sure there was some asshole in 2000 on a blog post who was like, I can't believe Tom Brady got drafted. I had him as a priority UDFA. Yeah, great. Right. Thanks for letting everybody know that that's what your grading system had him at. Nobody gives you shit. Like, in the end, did you draft good football players? That's what matters.
That's very well said. And I want to bring this back to Ben Solak because this made me think about something. Well, you're talking about nerds, and then it made me think about something that he did. He wrote an article on April the 1st. I was sent this headline. Let me redo this headline. 2026 NFL Draft All Film Team.
Okay.
Isn't that just like your all draft team? Like, is it like all film team? Like, isn't that a big board?
Yes, it should be.
What? Also, the first player. Oh my gosh, I hadn't scrolled down and look at the list. The first player is Garrett Nussmeier, and I mean,
isn't he set the best film?
Yeah, this is my all film team for 2026. Let me run down. Garrett Nussmeier at quarterback. Jadarian Price, Notre Dame. Dude, what are we doing? Jeremy Bernard, Alabama. What are we doing?
What?
That's crazy. Imperfect players who will go later than the tape suggests given the warts in their profiles. But I'm on each of them because the film details players who nevertheless succeed and will do so again in the league. Now, what are we doing, man? Are we trying too hard? We have too much time in between now, the Super Bowl and the draft.
So last year, so let's see how he did, to be fair. So last year, he did the all-film team last year.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Shuck was the quarterback. Okay. Kansas's Devin Neal was the running back.
Where did he go? Where did he end up going?
He was terrible.
Okay, fair.
Jag Beck was the receiver. No.
He played for the Raiders.
Not good. Mitchell Evans was the tight end.
I don't even know who that guy is.
Mitchell Evans is not in the NFL.
Oh, good.
From what I can tell here. No, it doesn't appear to be in the NFL. I clicked on the name and it links me to a DB from Louisville.
So great. It's working. So their website working great.
Offensive tackle, Will Campbell. He is interior offensive line Willie Lampkin. Interior defensive line, Tyreek Williams. Edge is Ashton Gelati.
I did just see that one. That's funny. That's
It's not great. Didn't work out. Carson Schlesinger, good call there.
Fair. That's a good one. He hit there.
Schlesinger is excellent.
Uh-huh.
Azariah Thomas, the corner out of Florida State.
I don't even know if he's in the league.
Andrew Makuba at safety. He
was fine.
Promising. So that was his team. So
if Garrett Nussmeier does anything in the NFL, I will be shocked.
So will Garrett Nussmeier. I mean,
he picked another Notre Dame tight end.
Well, might as well go back to the well and Mitchell Evans is doing something.
Look, I mean, if you have an opportunity to pick another Notre Dame tight end, you can't turn it down. You can't say
I'm
no.
looking up right now. Is he in the league? He is in the league. He plays for the Panthers.
Okay.
He had 19 catches last year.
Wow. Shout out. 19 catches.
Quite frankly, 19 more than I knew that he had.
Right. I mean, yeah.
I literally thought he was out of the NFL. So
it is a bummer. I am looking at this list now. There is a couple of guys on here that I do like. So that's kind of a bummer for me.
Well, I mean, but I think your overarching point though is true. Like, then why, if this is like who's the best players on film, why aren't they just like the best player?
Yeah. All film team. What are we talking about? We're trying too hard here, guys.
No all juice team, I'll tell you that much.
It is no all juice team. That's a shame. All right. Let's take a break. On the other side, talk about some other stuff going on around the NFL and
I don't know.
Some more stuff. I don't know. Chiefs.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
My name is Terrell Jolly. A lot of people call me TJ, founder and CEO of Integrity Capital Management. So Integrity Capital Management originally started out as a property management firm, but we slowly transitioned to what is described as an incremental development firm that's focused on situational housing. I know most people say affordable, but we believe in creating housing for people that are actually in need and built to the end user. I believe everyone needs a home because when you have home, you have hope. The reality is that when you're building a business, one thing you don't think about is like what a true banking relationship means. And, I had the honor and privilege of meeting Debbie early on in my career when I was just trying to get going. And as a small business, it's really challenging at times because people don't understand the concept or not believe the longevity because you're just getting started. But Debbie was willing to take a chance on me, be patient with me. I almost look at it like a grassroots initiative. She's seen and believe what I'm about. Anybody that's really true about their business and want to get some things done, I would definitely trust hands down Emprise because Deb's team, along with Aaron and Jackie and all the amazing people that work behind the scenes, even from the treasury side, I would say, hey, give them an opportunity because you won't be disappointed and you will actually be in hands that actually somebody care and that will see you from start to finish.
Matt, do you like my new hat?
I'd like a small cone and some hot fudge.
Fair. Very fair. Yes, I'm wearing the Royals New City Connect hat if you are listening audio only. I thought that I saw it come out and I said, wow, Matt's going to hate that. And I thought, it would be really funny if I went and got the hat for the podcast for me to wear it on the podcast because I knew that Matt wasn't really going to like it. Do you see all the City Connects that came out? I like how Nike was just like, fuck it, here's all of them. So we don't care. Just here's them all.
I honestly don't know how you feel about this, but I know you're into jerseys as I am.
Yeah. Whoa.
These things suck. Like, and look, I am not like, I know that sometimes people love to just hate everything because like that's like their
right.
I honestly don't. Like, I really like. There are some alternate jerseys I really like. Like I love in the Royals. Like they break out like the old school like powder blues.
Those are great.
Those are really nice. I like the Brewers have their dark alternate blues.
Mm-hmm.
I like those navies. Like I'm not anti having a third jersey. I'm not. And some of the jersey teams come out with are cool.
Yeah.
These City Connect jerseys are ass and they have to stop. They have to, like, even like the Brewers' Wisco thing. Like,
yeah, that one's pretty tough. I do like the Barrel Man logo.
Who the hell calls it Wisco? I've never heard of one human being alive ever calls constantly Wisco ever.
Yeah, they're also in Milwaukee.
It's like,
which is Wisconsin, but
just stop. Like, honestly, like teams. No, the Royals are a perfect example. There's another use to this. If you have a city that had a Negro League team,
yeah.
why do you wear those? Like,
Yeah.
Whatever. Pick 8-10 times a year. Like history, it's cool. You can learn something from it. It's different. Like, stop with this force-fed crap. And I mean, the NBA is the worst. The NBA, it's like you halftime, you turn the game on. Like, I don't even know the hell's playing.
Yeah.
It's some team in red and some team in gold, and it's like Knicks, Raptors. You're like, what?
Why are the Knicks wearing red?
Knicks are in red.
Yeah.
What the hell's happening?
Yeah.
It drives me crazy.
I do. Look, the Royals' first City Connect uniform was good. It was solid. The fountain, then it was navy blue. It had a little bit of powder blue in it. It was good. There are some hits with these City Connects. I think there are some hits with them. I don't mind the Royals one, probably because with the city logo and everything, and it's because it's Kansas City and everything like that. I understand like the imagery they're going for. I get it. I like it. I understand that's an unpopular opinion, and I'm okay with that, right? Like, I'm okay being over here with my ice cream cone hat, looking like I'm working at a dairy shop. It's fun, right? Like, they're doing it so they can sell more hats, sell more T-shirts, sell more hoodies, get the kids who like to wear their ice cream cone gloves on interested in baseball. Sure, I think Baltimore is pretty sweet. I mean, I don't like the teams that go all monochromatic. I'm not a huge monochromatic guy to begin with.
No.
But like, especially in baseball, like you got Paul Skeens wearing black pants. Like that's softball. Like, black pants are for softball. And then you got red pants for the Reds. Like, what are we doing? Let's just wear white pants or you wear gray pants. That's it.
What is the best jersey that is no longer worn in baseball?
Best jersey. The Royals turn ahead the clock.
Those things were wild.
Those things were so bad.
The Mariners had like cut off sleeves.
Right, they were like red. Just like, yeah. I really do, like, in baseball, I loved the vest uniforms. I wish that more teams would wear vest uniforms with like the undershirts, right? And because the Royals had a vest, I'm trying to think. I think the Rangers also had a vest for a while. I really like vested uniforms. I don't think those will ever come back, unfortunately. But those are some of my favorites. The Royals do wear their powder blues, like the full powder blues.
Yeah,
they brought those back, so those are good. What are your thoughts?
Like, I wish the Marlins would go back to what they were like in the days of like Dontrelle Willis.
They got to do the Sunday teals now. They do have that, which the teals are so good.
Which is good, right? Yeah. But like, go back to those. I did the Pirates should go back to like the We Are Family 1979, where they like wore like the pillbox hats, like you put stars on it. It'd be hilarious because nobody would put any stars on there except for Skeens. But like, I just think like baseball has so much tradition, so many uniforms over the years to pick from.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Man, go back to some of this stuff that like even the Mets, like once a week, wear the stripe all the way down the side of the body. Like go fold 1986 Mets.
Oh yeah.
Like it's fun. You know, I don't think like all the City Connect stuff. Like, what is it? Like who's like, damn, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I will say, to show that I'm not just a hater, I think I like the Little League weekend that they do in like August.
That is pretty cool, yeah.
That's cool. I like that. You know, that's different. Show some personality. You know? Like, that's cool. I think you can do that. You know, it's kind of like when in football they have like the one weekend, like My Cause, My Cleats.
Yep.
Like, that's cool. Like, you'll learn something about some of these guys.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty neat. But like, can you imagine the Chiefs without a City Connect uniform? It was just absolute chaos.
Well, they're going to. The rivalries uniform, that's what they're...
They look like shit. You know what's coming.
I'm really curious what liberties Clark Hunt's going to let Nike get away with. It's like, yeah, it'll be...
Clark's going to be busy planning a wedding. He didn't have time for this.
That's true. Shout out to the happy couple. Did we shout out the happy couple last episode, too?
We're just going to do it every week.
Every week, shout out the happy couple. Hilarious. Also... I didn't notice this until I saw, I think it's The Athletic. It's like the sports gossip show. I don't know if you've seen this one that they have on there. They talked about how many just like candles were around for the engagement. And I did not notice it until they pointed it out. Just like how many candles they had like around Which I'm sure Derek placed all of those, and Derek was like planned it and all, you know.
Oh, I'm sure he was involved. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just did not notice that until they pointed out. I was like, wow.
It's good to see a happy couple. It's good to see a happy couple.
Especially in times like this, you need to see happy couples.
You'll like to see happiness.
that was inadvertent. I didn't mean to do that. Anyway, Dexter Lawrence wants to trade. Would you trade for Dexter Lawrence, Matt?
Nah.
I don't think I would either. I mean, I put a tweet out there asking people. There were some people that were like, "I'll give up pick 9 for him." And I was like, "That's crazy."
God, those people should be investigated.
Like, yeah, I was like, they're just going on name only. He's going to want a new contract as well, I believe, with it, because the sticking point now is he doesn't really have a price point he wants to play at.
Can we talk about how awful he was last year?
Yeah, that's also a really good point. Is like he wasn't good last year.
Dude, wasn't good. He had a half a sack and 8 quarterback hits in 17 games.
Yeah, I was being a bit kind by saying it wasn't.
He was fucking horrendous. Like, I mean, are we gonna live in like the same world as everybody else? I mean, Ashton Gelati had a sack and a half and 8 quarterback hits. He outplayed Dexter Lawrence.
Shout out Ashton Gelati.
Yeah, like, are we really gonna sit here and pretend like that didn't happen? Charles Omenihu last year had 3.5 sacks and 13 quarterback hits. He basically was Lawrence Taylor compared to Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah.
Look, I think Dexter Lawrence is a lot better than like last year's numbers, but to be real, those were last year's numbers. He wasn't hurt. He played in every game. And he played almost 70% of the snaps too. And he's going to be 29 this season, and he wants to get paid, what, $30 million a year? Yeah, I'm good. I'm all set. Somebody else can pay that freight.
I don't think I'd trade for Dexter Lawrence either. Now, would this have been fun a couple of years ago? Yeah, that'd have been fun, but...
Yeah, but I mean, a couple of years ago, a lot of things would have been fun.
That's very true. A couple of years ago, a lot of things changed with a couple of years ago. I mean, we'll see where that goes. I've got an ad playing in my head as I'm trying to do this, but Kyle Pitts signed his franchise tag. Did you see that the judge did finally schedule a trial between John Gruden and the NFL for mid-2027? I
did see that, yes. Awesome.
That's good.
It's about time. Yeah.
There was one, that's what I wanted to do. I was like, there's another legal thing I wanted to talk about. The DOJ reportedly opened an anti-competitive investigation into the NFL and their broadcasting contracts. The Wall Street Journal reported that the government has begun an investigation on whether or not the league has engaged in anti-competitive tactics that harm consumers. However, the size and scope of the investigation are not yet known. The DOJ investigation comes on the heels of building public pressure from other government officials. FCC Chairman Brendan Carr, who has been very outspoken about wielding the weight of his office in many ways not seen before, has recently turned his attention to the NFL. So I know that we had talked about, as of probably a couple shows ago, that the CBS contract is going to be getting negotiated because they had a change in ownership, and they're going to be asking for that. They're going to say, hey, you see that NBC contract that the NBA just got? How about add a couple more bills to it, and we'll call it good. So the biggest the sticking point here is the streaming stuff. Is what the sticking point is here is like basically how much consumers have to spend to get the product. The NFL's argument is, well, the majority of our games are on regular television, so you don't have to. So we'll see how that goes, but it's going to be interesting to watch that shake.
Far be it for me to go, Rob Long throwing the NFL hat here.
Right.
But doesn't the NBA and Major League Baseball have more games on all these streaming services?
Oh, you can't watch baseball.
So, like, what argument is there?
That's a great point. But yeah,
I'll be honest with you, it is a damn good point. Like, what argument is there? Like, okay, if you want to argue that about the NFL, fine. The NFL's got a point. Like, they put way more of a percentage of their games on free television.
Yep. So
to speak, public TV than any of the other sports do.
This is the NFL statement here. The NFL media's distribution model is the most fan and broadcaster friendly in the entire sports and entertainment industry, with over 87 of our games on free broadcast television, including 100% of games in the markets of the competing teams. The NFL has for decades put our fans front and center, how we distribute our content. The 2025 season was our most viewed since 1989. That's interesting. And reflects the strength of the NFL distribution model and its wide availability to fans. What happened in 1989 that we could not top until now?
I'm too fried to figure it out, but something big.
That's weird. I would have assumed it would have been like, since like this is our highest streaming year since 2025, you know, like it would have been like that. But like 1989 just kind of threw me off a little bit. That's wild. I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about, Matt.
There's not.
I did just see this come across my desk. Emmanuel Ocho dubs himself the foremost expert on Mike Vrabel and Diane Rossini. All right, I think that's going to do it for the show.
Yeah, that's probably best.
That's enough of that. After I saw that headline, I didn't know that until I was just scrolling this awful announcing website here. Awful announcing, that is actually apt to what the headline I just read, actually. So
no.
Yeah.
No.
That's probably
just everyone who watches this enough knows the thought I'm having in my head right now.
Yeah. We're going to practice restraint. And that's going to do it for your Friday edition of That Football Show. Thank you guys so much for watching all the way until the end of the podcast. It is Friday, so I am going to look up real quick if you guys have any reviews. I think I did see that somebody sent in a review, so
I appreciate that somebody sent in a review to the draft guide.
Yes.
And shout us out over the draft guide. It's good. Thank you.
Draft guide's great, but That Football Show is better.
Good.
And thank you for that. 5 days ago, That Football Show. This is from Eric MB81, 5 stars. His podcast is hotter than Josh Briscoe's mom.
Yeah, Briscoe's mom. It's a drive-by.
Well, yeah. Briscoe's mom hopped on because he went to visit home for Easter and then he was in like a wedding, and then she hopped on the stream, and then everyone was like, whoa, Josh's mom's hot. You know, it's like everyone does. And that's what they ran with it. 2 days ago, this is from the African Moonchild, 5 stars. Big Daddy Andy Reid is the name of the review. So, all right, shout out. When I get a notification every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I didn't read this beforehand. My brain simply ejaculates with pure, unapologetic, raw dopamine. My shoulders tense up, but they soon ease up when I hear the voices of my Tucky and Verdi. They are the true voices of the kingdom. The takes are not from a Homer perspective, but from people who have common sense. Thank you for, well, not obviously common sense because I read this without reading it beforehand. Thank you for being the voices in the glory days of Chiefs Kingdom. I will cherish these days forever. Me and my Verdi go way back to the Arrowhead Addict days. He helped ease my body and my mind, my heart and soul when Tyreek Hill got traded. Now my cheeky cheetah will hopefully come back. I will rub that knee all the way to February. Remember, when Big Daddy Andy Reid needs a massage, you put everything aside and run that MFer. Go Chiefs, read on stream, don't be afraid. Thank you.
That's well done. Thanks, sir.
It's a real Ron Burgundy moment for me there, just reading what was on the teleprompter, and I'm okay with that. Thank you for the 5-star rating and review. We do appreciate that. Go by the draft guide. Come hang out with us, our 5-year anniversary party. All that fun stuff. The KCSN draft show will be out tomorrow, as I mentioned, with Matt Lane and Mike Renner. They have a good conversation about offensive linemen in the draft as well. So for Matt Verderame, I'm Tucker Franklin. Thank you guys so much. We will be back on Monday. We'll see you then.